This is the Havalon fillet knife right here. Comes out with the blade. And this is the case. And all the extra blades. Get the blades in a nice little package here. Fit right in there. Now what everybody I'm sure is interested in, I need a pair of pliers I think, is you take the blade off here, off this thing that holds it, and you do it by pushing this up, and then the blade slides off. See how it's sliding off? Right there through that gap. I don't want to really take it off, but, and then it snaps on. So it's really on there. And that thing is like a razor, folks. It's just a handle that you can wash real clean, and it's got a belt clip. And today's going to be the first day of actually testing out how well it fillets. All right, so I'm going to get a fish. Get a fish. Put my gloves on. Just for the heck of it here. And I'm going to start out on a real small trout. Plain old speckled trout. There we go. Alrighty. Well, let me get my other little tool. Okay. Well, this is how I would just normally do it. Cut it down. Oh my God. Like butter. This thing is so sharp. It's ridiculous. There's a fillet. This is going to be too easy, folks. You can't get a knife probably sharper than this. Oh man. Oh man. Then we take this and we give it to these jerks over here. Okay. So then the problem I saw was, is this knife going to be actually too sharp to fillet a thin-skinned trout? That's the question. So here we go. We're going to try it. There we go. Okay, I did that pretty well. There's the fillet. Now we got the skin. Cut out the backbones here. Not the rib cage, I mean. And this, see, the flexibility is what I was worried about. If this has flexibility, and it obviously does up against the table here, no problem. Okay, hold it like I normally would, and just draw that skin right off. Okay. Now, let's move on to a little tougher fish. How about a ringtail porgy?
A ringtail porgy
it is. A ringtail porgy it is. Get one out of the cooler here. You can hand over there. Here's some of our catch. We have redfish. Sheep's head.
Good sheeper.
This is the one here that is the absolute root of all evil to clean. But we have a ringtail porgy, and that's one of a red sheep's head's little cousins. So we'll see how he works. Okay. This is just a pan fish. I'm surprised that we even caught one today, because usually catch them in real cold water. Okay. So I cut behind the head, like I normally would. I'm going to go down the backbone, down the back, hook my knife out, and then what I usually do is just go along. This is actually cutting as if this was actually, well, instead of butter, let's say white bread. White bread with no crust. This is actually kind of ridiculous. Okay, go down, run it along the bones. Okay. Now, what I usually do, even on Mr. Sheep's head, is I just cut through these bones that are the rib cage. Okay, through them. And here comes a nice ringtail porgy fillet. Okay. Now I can see, boy, you better keep your hands away from the tip of this blade. And there we go. Nice little fillet coming off of there. Let's do another one. Yeah, you don't use this knife as like a little toy, that's for sure. And keep your hands clear. Go on down. Believe it or not, the true test, I think, sometimes of a knife is smaller fish, because it's a little more delicate. Okay. I mean, if there was some little, some guys that are out fishing for rainbow trout up in the streams of Colorado or something, and they just want to absolutely do one-stroke fish cleaning, this is going to be one-stroke fish cleaning, where saltwater fish here many times have a little more armor, and just wipe that right on through. And there we go. And there's the garbage disposal. That's the garbage disposals. So, okay, let me take a little wipe of this. Clean that right off a little bit. There we go. And alrighty, so that's pretty much it. The Havalon 5-inch blade fillet knife. I think I'm gonna like it.
I think you are too. Now, if I can go and make some comments, Dave, as an ex-surgeon, I operate...
You might want to wait for the helicopter, or speak up loud for the helicopter.
I was a surgeon for 25 years, and we used Bard Parker blades, and this company made the Bard Parker surgical blades. So they are surgically sharp, and it's the same type of insert, how you put it on, how you take it off. Just be very, very careful. We didn't have a pliers to go and put it on, but I would highly recommend you have a pliers.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take it on.
Yeah.
Just grab it right down there, because if you slip at all with that blade, you're going to cut yourself. It's very, very, very sharp.
And the neat whole thing about this is once this gets dull, put on a new one. Heck, I don't know what you're going to use the old ones for, but you better discard them properly.
Yeah.
Of some sort.
Let's try the sheepy.
Okay. We'll hit end there, and we'll start back up. All right. This is a sheep's head. This is your average size sheep's head. We catch a lot of them. These fish carry actual like weapons with them when they're alive. This is like having a Havalon knife on the top of their body. But what makes them really tough is their kind of armor plated, big head, thick bones. These fish live in and around rocks, pilings, docks. So this is the true test right here, because these are heavily armored fish. So if I go in here and I just cut, go right around. And this is what I was hoping for, is have a knife just so sharp that you could just outline a fillet real easy. Okay, without a whole lot of mess. And you can see they got really thick skin. Them scales are holding it together. And then what I want to do is I just want to come in here cut off this back strap. And I just want to run it down the bones. Okay. Now usually we'll just start popping some bones. But what I'm hoping is you don't even have to do that. I'm just going to go around this massive rib cage, okay, just like that. And then I always call this the lower chunk of the meat is right in here. And that's what I was hoping. Not even having to go through any bones or anything with this knife. You don't have to bust bones with it. That's what I was hoping for. This is the true test. The only thing tougher than, I think, cleaning a sheep's head is a triggerfish. I don't catch many triggerfish. I don't go offshore far enough to catch triggerfish. But look at this. Right through all them scales. Right off. Right in here. I mean, the scales are sticking to the point of the knife. I can't even get them off. There we go. Slice right in there. Boy, I'll tell you, if you skipped and missed a beat here, go right in there. Just take that meat right out. I was afraid that the knife wouldn't be long enough, but for most of the fish that I do, as you can see the sizes of them, this is going to work just fine, I think. And now I can just go in, go around this big rib cage. Okay. See, we pull at the same time. It's sliding on me. But we don't need any of that. We just need, let's see, right there, and go right around. And that's a sheep's head. All done. Well, this here is just a keeper redfish. You have to keep them 18 to 27 inches, so this is a nice little keeper here. This is also a guitar pick scaled type fish. So we're going to give this a try too. Go on in. Right on. Man, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, look at that. That's sort of an unconventional way of doing it. It's taking it down along the belly and then getting out that tail. But then I can turn them around. Go right in here and do the same thing. Just work right on down. Okay. Now I can flip it open like a little book. And I can run the fillet right off. You actually got to watch. I can feel it. That if I let this go, I can cut right through the bone on this brand new blade. Which I almost am. Cutting right through the bone. I think I gotta stand up here. I'm trying to go around these rib cage here and stuff to get the fillet, and you can see I was going on the other side of the fish. Okay, try it again. Hook it in. You can imagine the guy cleaning the walleye. He doesn't have to deal with this armor-plated stuff. This is going to be ridiculous for him, man, don't you think?
Absolutely.
I mean, this is going to be ridiculous. I mean, look at there. There's where I went through before. I didn't even know I was going through. Here I come up towards the rib cage, and you can just go right around it. Most of the time, with a regular fillet blade, I just want to get it done, so I'll just chop right through those. Okay. Got to give it a little power because you got the scales and this heavy skin to deal with. There we go.
Well done.
And now all we do is skin them out. Start back on the tail. I just use this as a meat holder or a fillet holder. And then it goes right through like nothing. There we go. Perfect skin. That's the reason why they came up with the recipe redfish on the half shell. You just leave this on, put them down on the coals on a fire, and meat cooks right inside the scales. You push it right off onto your plate, and you go, and throw that to the raccoons.
So that's all done.
When you're out in the woods, or you're spending a weekend in the swamp. Now, I've never been into electric knives because, of course, I have to clean all my fish right off the back of my boat. There you go. So I don't have any access to power, and this right here now is, from what I could tell, this is everything I thought it was going to be.